Hello and welcome to the next tutorial in the Adobe Illustrator tutorial series. In this one, I'll be showing you how to use the pen tool and also an introduction to our fill and stroke colors panel. So let's begin by opening up our artboard. So we'll go new file, A4 is good, we work in millimeters, all set, ready to go. So first things first, this little tool on the right hand side is our pen tool. We're going to do a little activity. We're actually going to trace around an image because one of our clever students in our class wants to make some coasters from the laser cutter. I'm going to show you how to do that. So first we need to place an image to trace around. So we go into our Files tab, scroll down to Place because we want to place an image on our artboard, and we'll pick this avocado picture. The good thing about Adobe Illustrator is that our images don't pixelate if we expand them. So we can always resize our image and you won't lose quality of the image. So to make it easy for ourselves, we'll keep it big because we can always shrink it down. We're just going to trace around the main part of this avocado here. Before we do that, I just want to show you our fill and stroke colors options. So they're down at the bottom here, but you can also find them into the properties tab here in your appearance. If you insert an appearance tab from your Windows bar here, you'll also find it in there. Very easy to get to. So this works with shapes as well. You've got your fill color, which is the inside of the shape, and you've got your stroke, which is the outline of your shape. You can adjust the color to suit whichever color you want. If you know the exact color code, you can put that in here as well. These are easy to get on Google Images. If you want an exact color code, they should have the codes next to their titles. Like so. Now with the stroke, we use that to make our cuts on the laser cutter. We like to type in 0.03. That's what the laser cutter is set to. That highlights what you're cutting. But if you're doing other illustrations on Illustrator, you can go any thickness you like. Say 20 makes a really thick outline border. Now to the pen tool. Click on the pen tool and simply just trace around your image. Now we've still got a fill on our image, but we can always remove that once we finish tracing around it. It'll finish like that. We can click on the stroke and see on the bottom right square there with the red dash through it, that means no fill or no color. Just click that and your fill will disappear. Now when you connect the pen tool to make a shape, it automatically deselects the pen tool. But if you want to do an unconnected line like so, just click enter. Now one of the most useful shortcuts I use on Adobe Illustrator is Control-Z, which is to undo. We'll make a lot of mistakes when playing around with Adobe Illustrator. To quickly backtrack, just click Control-Z. That'll redo what you just done. So if there's any shortcut tool to learn, it's Control-Z. Now back to our shape. Let's select that again with our selection tool. We can change the sizing of this if we want, but we actually have to round off these edges. So what we can do is go to our direct selection, and these little circles actually curve around like that. Now when you first click into the selection tool, it'll automatically set to all of them doing that function, but if you want a specific one, just click on that one and then it'll adapt the pen tool path like so. We actually do want to round them all off, so let's continue by doing that. This bit's a little bit off here, so we will adapt it by clicking on the point and dragging that out, or using these little handles to manipulate the shape. Let's do that. We can bring this one out. I should be able to delete that. It's deleting the whole thing. Never mind. Hate it when you forget how to do something. So what you can actually do is you can actually delete points and then reconnect if you've made too many points. Try to be as simple as possible when doing this, because the more points you add, the more difficult it is to manipulate that shape. What we might do is we might remove that. Oop. And then adapt it there. We might delete that one. Oh no, now we can move it. It's a bit funny sometimes, this Adobe Illustrator, how it does that. I'm going to reconnect that and make one big curve. By going in back to our pen tool and clicking on the Alt key, you'll see this little two dotted symbol with the curve. That means you can bend that whole curve. So let's do that, and that's pretty good. These ones can come down a bit. We'll bring that down like so. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'll delete that one. Might reconnect that one. And to check to see how you're going, we can actually change the opacity of our image by clicking on Appearance, clicking on Opacity, making it less transparent, like so. That's not too bad, but I think we can make that better. So let's put that to the side, and we'll just use less points. So let's try something like this. It's not too bad, but these points look a bit dodgy, so what we'll do is use our direct selection, that's right, and should be able to round that off. Yep. There we have it. Let's see if that one's a bit better. That's not too bad. I'm going to change the stroke thickness of that because I think it's just a bit too big. Change that back to 1. Change the color back to black. Because I've done that, it's actually a little bit shorter, so I might just expand that out. And there we go. Now the avocado has a skin. I'm going to actually use that. So I'm just going to Control C and Control V to copy and paste. Many functions to do that. You can also do that into your edits tabs here. And we're just going to shrink that a little bit. Just realign that, see how we've done. It's not too bad. I don't mind it there. But there's a little... No, it's not too bad. And finally, we've got our seed. Usually I'll use the shape tool to do that, but I'll show you how to use the shape tool to do the same thing we've done here, just in a different way in our next tutorial. So to use this, I'm just going to use 4 dots, I reckon, and expand them out. And then, round them all off. And there we have our avocado. Might add some colour to this, so let's use some fill. Yeah, it's alright. We've got our flesh, which is a greenier colour. And our outer colour. And there we have a little avocado. If we want to laser cut this, I'd actually, I'll change that to 0.003. If I wanted to create this as an actual image too, it'll cut the 0.003 and engrave the color separation in the internal lines. So that's the second video of our series. Next video, I'll show you how to use the layering function, a very handy tool.